know adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the world's first ever and currently only children's casino.
All right, Captain Chris, let's launch. Hitting dials now. Smash, smash, smash. I didn't know the 101 went all the way to Pluto.
Welcome to the birth mega Pluto.
Oh no, that looks like a hike. I gotta turn around.
Wait, what's going on? It's me, all three of the Furies.
That's too scary. I think I'm on the cusp.
It's cold, Diva.
Actually, as Chris's best friend, I can attest to the fact that the void was always inside them.
I love you. I love you.
I'm feeling fuzzy.
Transcoded!
Buckle up, Riley.
Strap in, Diva. We're going rocketing.
So, you just started using LinkedIn Premium. Now what? Well, on your premium company page, you noticed around 7.5 times more page engagement and 5 times more page views. Well done. And now, new clients are messaging you. All because you're using LinkedIn Premium, which helps you get the business growth you want. Think big, small business. Think big. Start your free trial at linkedin.com/premium small business. That's linkedin.com/premium small business.
So we're safe again?
For now.
Not you, though!
Not my neck again! Ow! Chris, you have to stop waking me up by shaking my neck so violently.
Then stop going to sleep, you pathetic fool.
Oh my god, you know I need to catch my Z's, my beauty sleep. You don't think I look like this on accident, right?
Zed.
Zed, what? What are you, Canadian? What happened to you in New York?
I got fucked by Arthur Conrad.
And that's
so
true.
I was
so
actually,
maybe...
so let's stop for 1 second. Half second. So when I said Arthur Conrad, I completely blanked on the Prime Minister's name.
What?
What's his name?
Wait, Justin Thoreau?
Yeah, Trudeau. Not even Thoreau.
Wait,
so
who am I? I'm thinking of a baseball player.
No, Justin Thoreau is ultimately a philosopher and novelist.
I fully thought that was a baseball
Mariah,
player.
is that correct? Philosopher, novelist. Is it poet?
Henry David,
great.
not Justin.
Okay, cool.
Isn't Justin Thoreau from like The Leftovers?
Oh my God, what was that?
What was that?
Jesus Christ.
What was that?
What was that?
What was that
Oh
ghostly
my
voice on
God.
a
In the
rocket
spirit
ship?
of fact-checking.
Oh!
I'll go
This
away
is
now.
famously not a fact-based podcast. I'm feeling very
Jeez.
overwhelmed right now.
Wow, we haven't recorded together in person in literally eons.
Yeah, and it feels good. I like it.
Ow, ow,
And I
ow.
can poke your chest now again. Pokey, pokey, pokey. A beautiful chest. What have you been doing to that?
Kind of not as much as I should.
Oh, you haven't commented on my chest yet.
The titties are soft.
The titties hurt.
Like this?
Oh, no, actually that hurts.
Well, then why did you tell me?
Oh my gosh. You're such a menace. How are you? You're back in LA now.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Should have warmed up.
I don't think we've done one episode in the past 6 months where we haven't done the Defying Gravity riff.
It's really sick.
Yeah.
It's terrible the things that Steven Schwartz has done to the world.
It's interesting though that you do the Idina Menzel version, like the original riff, whereas I'm always doing the Cynthia Erivo version. Oh, wow.
That's exactly like she did it.
Maybe better.
You know what? That is Cynthia Erivo when you do that. Wow.
Wow. I'm defying gravity.
Wow.
Sandy, I'm defying gravity. At the end of Grease, as they fly up in their car, John Travolta just goes,
That's Rocky Horror.
What?
Okay.
Oh, the time warp is Rocky Horror.
Mariah, set coordinates to somewhere that's not here. We're
Let's get
going
outta
off
here.
the rails. Beep, boop, beep, boop. Our next guest is a writer, comedian, filmmaker, and musician. You know him from The Good Place, New Warriors, The Late Late Show, The Amber Ruffin Show, and his September 21st videos. Currently on tour with his solo show, Demi Adejuyigbe does one backflip. Please welcome to the pod, Demi Adejuyigbe.
I have to.
Lower the gangplank, Mariah.
No, that was more. No, that was so
that was
George of
good.
the Jungle. I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
George
George of the Jungle. And I sat here being like, when it's my turn, I'm gonna nail it. I have to start by saying, absolute impeccable pronunciation of my last name. Congratulations.
Is that actually true?
Genuinely, yes.
Okay, good.
I was like, oh, you practiced.
No.
Wow. And that's a performer there. That is that's someone who's on Broadway.
That's an improviser.
You know what's funny? I tripped up on the name Demi.
Which is
two.
It sneaks up on you. Yeah.
I think I called you Debbie.
And you know what? I'll take it. Yeah. Demi Adejuyigbe.
A perfect drag name if you ever.
Everyone be like, what's this a parody of? Who's the original?
Wait, Demi, where are we right now?
Yeah, I'm like coughing. What did I just walk into?
Oh, that's the smoke. Welcome to my casino, which if you've looked around, you might notice no adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the world's first ever and currently only children's casino.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yes, yay is not the usual response I get, but it is correct. That is, I'm proud of it.
Well, there's, of course, concern in my eyes and my mouth is agape, and I am wondering how we got here, but I'm just happy to see a friendly face.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I created the children's casino, because I wanted a place where children could safely lose thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
There aren't enough of those.
No. And you go to a regular casino, and it's all adults, and they're all mean, and they're yelling at each other. And I'm like, no, I think children should have a safe space where they can see friendly faces, they can see a group of their peers while also playing, Caillou themed slot machines or, Coco Melon themed also slot machines. They can still smoke.
They are chain smoking.
They are chain smoking.
Those preschoolers are ripping
flavored camels. Yeah. So,
do I spy a menthol?
That's right.
Okay, they're flicking the embers at us now. Excuse you.
It seems as though everyone who works here is also a child. There's
Correct.
someone in a disturbingly risque outfit serving what seems to be whiskey sours.
Okay, well, risque is as defined by the viewer, so I think let's maybe
says
reflect
a lot
on
about you,
yeah.
Chris.
Oh, okay. So it's about me that I'm looking at a child in a risque outfit. And
I allow the children to dress in whatever way makes them feel comfortable because the only people here are children. So
Yes.
it's like what's risque to an adult isn't risque to a child.
Okay, and by the way, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah, the full beard is a long story.
And a long beard.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I've been working on it for 16 years.
So when did you open this casino?
I want to say it was 2 years ago.
Okay,
It was,
so at 14.
At 14. And I was sitting there in math class and I was like, what's this all for? What am I doing here? What am I ever going to use these numbers for? And my teacher was just like, well, you could use it for a bunch of things. And they started listing stuff. And then at some point they're like, playing blackjack. And I was like, hold up, what's that? What's that about? So I went home and I binged it. And it turns out blackjack is a math-based game in which you're trying to count to 21. And I was like, I'm going to open a place where you do a lot of that.
Wow, all of that felt completely right to me until you said I binged that. So
What else should I? What do you mean?
So you're not a Google diva.
What is that?
You Google.com?
Google.com?
Oh, I'm just now realizing that that's a search engine.
Bing.com.
I thought you were just using it as like a fun verb.
Or like a slang? No, it's like when you search something on the internet. You Bing it.
I personally Firefox it, but
You
to each
Firefox
their
it?
own. Yeah,
Sure.
Firefox it.
And he does something called Googling?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
I guess children live different lives. I don't know what to tell you.
Got it. I'm just not hip with the Gen Alf.
You're not.
Uh-huh.
The Gen A.
Gen A.
I'm not hip with the Gen A.
Gen A.
That's probably
do people
problematic.
call? Is that
actually.
a thing? Or I guess I should know. I'm 16, but I wonder if our
I have no
generation
idea.
knows Forrest Gump enough for that.
I think it's more hip to not understand your own generation, probably.
That's so true.
That's
I was born
subversive.
in the wrong generation, I always say.
Oh,
Which is
yeah?
why I started the children's casino.
If you were to be born in any other generation, what would it be and why?
I gotta say, those millennials got it pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They
had,
spooked me.
Obama.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Obama? Is Obama a millennial?
No, but he's the first millennial president to preside over like millennials as they were becoming adults.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense.
They had Mad Men. Really just those two things.
Yeah, but
yeah.
it was a
Wish it was
really
around.
sick time.
Those are two-
Really good
two
time.
big things.
Sick.
Nothing bad
Yeah,
happening.
John Hamhive, rise up.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh my
Glaze
God.
me daddy.
Whoa.
January Jones Hive also rise up. Where's she been?
I don't know.
That's such a good question.
Yeah.
Where is January Jones?
Mariah, do you know where January Jones has been?
She turned 40, so Hollywood stopped casting because the industry is sexist.
Oh, okay, so that actually makes sense.
Yeah, that's completely true.
Yes.
And I hope this is an appropriate response to whatever Mariah said.
I'll tell you where she isn't. The Children's Casino. Because she's not allowed.
Oh,
Can you show us
did something
around your
happen?
like favorite spots around here?
Oh,
Sure.
yes, please.
Here, let me take you to the roulette wheel. Now, if you notice, a normal roulette wheel, they got red, they got black, they got the one little green space, right? Not ours. We like to sort of spice it up. So what we've done here is instead of red, we've got pink. And instead of black, we've got a different shade of pink, which might be a little stressful, but for young eyes, it's actually not that problem.
Yeah, I actually cannot tell the difference between these two shades of pink.
Yeah, you wouldn't. No offense, but you wouldn't be able to.
You're saying that with such vigor in your eyes.
I'm
No
proud
offense.
I'm just proud of my youth, which is never gonna go away.
Your color-seeing eyes.
Yes,
This all looks like beige to me.
I don't know what to tell you. To me, it's as vivid as black or white.
Work.
Yeah,
I've never actually played, what is this game called?
roulette.
Roulette. I've never played roulette.
Here we call it. No, we call it roulette.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There's at least like something I can tether myself.
Totally, yeah.
Here, too.
We like to keep it normal enough that kids can learn to gamble elsewhere and then bring what they've learned from the outside world here.
This is starting to feel like what would happen if Neverland was a capitalistic hellscape.
Yes,
Right,
a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, we did take
Like-
some inspiration from that.
Like the lotus, like the Greek myth of the lotus.
I don't know.
those
this.
are real things. Lotuses are real.
What?
Lotus are real.
Well, yeah, but there's this idea of like this lotus trap where in Greek mythology there's this like place like a gambling den or a casino where people get trapped. What? Is that a bad thing to say?
Gambling den is a slur.
Oh wait, actually?
Yes.
Oh,
I-
okay.
And for you to come into this beautiful space and say that, I just
can't believe that.
It's fine.
Oh,
That's
shit.
crazy.
It's okay.
I actually didn't know that. I'm so sorry.
Because it's not true. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Okay. So anyway, people
the genuine
get trapped.
horror in your
I
eyes
was
for a
like,
second.
what? But no, this lotus thing is like people get trapped in this like casino type place, and it's some Greek myth. I'm not explaining this well, but it's in Percy Jackson, so just watch that.
Wait, is it a real Greek myth or is
Was
it
it
Percy Jackson?
Jackson?
No, so they like did a contemporary
Okay.
retelling of it.
When you added that, I was like, now hold on.
It's from the Greek myth of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
Yes,
no,
yes.
but it is like a real Greek myth. They just did a contemporary retelling that takes place in a modern casino in Vegas.
Oh, wait. So they had a casino that in a children's thing?
Yeah, yeah, they get trapped
Wait
in
a
a casino.
That's
You have all these banners around here saying universe's first children's casino, but it sounds like if this is true, what Finn is saying, you might be the second.
no. Now let's let's hold on because it's a movie, it's a book, so that's not real, right?
Well, I mean, in different universes, they
Well, based
are
on
in
a true
true
story.
real. So Finn, what? How many years ago do you think that movie came out? More than 2?
Well, the book came out probably in like 28.
28.
That's
2,000.
That was almost
years ago.
2,000 years ago, Demi.
That's crazy that we're
You're
still reading
really-
it these days.
The
Wait.
original text, so Percy, it's like it's a modern interpretation of what was like carved into stone originally.
Demi, you're throwing these whiskey sours back like they're water.
Yeah, I'm a little stressed by this. I'm just worried that we're going to be sued by the Percy Jackson estate now, and I just can't have that.
I mean, you've got to have a lawyer. Are they their children also?
Yes, they are. We don't want any adults in here. It's you two are the first adults that have ever been allowed in this hallowed ground. So I was like, well, I got to have kids that are lawyers too. We got bouncers that are kids. We got sharks that are kids. Every person that works on this ground is a child.
Wow, children sharks?
Yeah, and
Where
they
did
will.
the adult great whites go?
Hey there, you two adults. How are you doing?
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hi
Good,
there.
I guess.
Can I get either of you two adults a couple of drinks?
That's Marsha. That's all.
no,
You don't have
I
to.
feel uncomfortable with that.
Marsha, you don't
Hi
have
there,
to.
Demi.
Hi, Marsha.
Hi there, Papa Demi.
Well, I wouldn't. You don't have to call me Papa. We've been over this.
Oh, it's what I prefer, Papa Demi.
Okay.
Hey, I got a couple drink specials. I got a Shirley Temple. I got a Kool-Aid where you mix the purple and the red. And I've got a penicillin shot.
Oh, I'm allergic to penicillin, so I'll do the Shirley Temple, please.
Okay, here you go.
Thank you, Marsha. My name's Finn, by the way.
Ooh,
Don't
yeah.
dig
Should I
into
not?
something. No.
Okay, I won't interact.
I feel weird about it.
Mademoiselle Finn.
Yeah, okay.
You switch between
yeah.
French for some people and like calling me Papa. I don't.
It's Peppa.
Oh, Peppa.
Peppa Demi.
This is the most we've talked, Marsha. I have to ask, where are you from?
Corona.
Oh, okay.
Corona,
Southern
California.
California.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm familiar.
Strange
so
accent for that.
Should I just avoid contact with all the employees?
I guess not, but I'll just say watch it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Really, I
okay.
just came here to play roulette,
Does
and I'd love to
anyone
give it
want
a
to
try.
see my feet?
Oh
No.
my god.
Okay,
we
you
gotta
don't
go.
need
We
you
gotta
gotta
go.
go.
This feels bad.
Get
Yes.
rid of it.
And
Should-
Chris,
we're
thank
moving-
you for abstaining from contact
I
with
could
that.
not
I understand.
deal with it. I hate kids.
And-
Something about me, I hate kids.
And what a choice to come here, because
Yeah.
it's all kids.
But we wanted to meet you, and we
Well,
want to
thank
talk to you.
This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit temptationstreats.com to learn more.
Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant. 9.5 plus pH, now in cans.
Refreshing.
Made for every way you move.
Should I run a marathon?
Let's start with finishing that water. Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant, now in a sleek can. For those with a taste for taste. Grab yours today.
Could you like, take us to somewhere like more quiet for a second? Maybe.
Yeah,
There's got to be some sort of like reflecting pond or something.
Yeah, we can go to. You know what? We can go to the smoking lounge because, I guess it's the no smoking lounge because you can smoke everywhere in here, but we have a space for people who don't want to smoke.
Oh, great.
But everyone wants to smoke. So.
Perfect.
Great.
Yeah, no
While
one's in-
we're walking over there, Demi, can you tell us what Kool-Aid are you drinking? What have you been absolutely obsessed with
Do
lately?
you literally mean Kool-Aid, or do you just mean like spiritually? What thing?
Spiritually.
Okay, I was like, because we all know I'm drinking the one that mixes with the purple and the red.
Yeah, of course.
But I guess in life, I have been rewatching the Mission Impossible movies. And loving them as much as I always do. But I think it's like whenever a new one comes out, I'm like, I remember. And then it's like, but let's just dip back in and see what it's all like.
Let's make sure I remember.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those movies since I was probably 10 years old. And I
Really?
remember distinctly I watched them all back to back because I got the flu when I went on vacation to St. Louis to go to the Children's Museum there.
Yeah.
And so I just watched all three at the time Mission
So
Impossible
many
movies.
people I know have just been like, I just watched them when I was sick. I introduced them to a partner when she was sick, and it's just like, she was like, oh, there's a new one. I'll go see that. And I'm like, what do you remember? And she's like, not a thing. It's like everyone, it's a
the
sick
weirdest
movie.
thing. I can't remember any single part of any of those movies except for the part where the one guy pulls off his like really realistic mask.
Yeah, which is in
Spoiler
every
alert.
one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that
So
like a recurring
it's like,
theme?
It's a thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember it's like some like balding white guy just like rips off his face, and then all of a sudden it's Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
It was really
Yeah, he does
disturbing
that.
at that time.
And you're telling me these people don't believe in transness?
Well, that's actually the subtext of Mission Impossible, which
Yeah.
not a lot of people know. But in the same way that Tar is transcoded, Mission Impossible is kind of an allegory for transness, specifically transfemness.
Yes, it's about seeking out your own identity in this world that will not let you find your own space.
I would love in this new one if they're like, all right, time to rip off the mask. He's like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, time to rip off. Yeah.
I can do it later, though.
Yeah, I'll do it later. I think I could be helpful for the mission.
The last Mission Impossible isn't out yet, but it's called The Final Reckoning, and I'm calling it right now. I think it is because there is no trans healthcare supported in America, and so he's on a mission to find the last collection or like stash of estrogen.
Oh my God. I would watch that.
And then at the end of the movie, you just see Tom Cruise inject his estrogen for the very first time.
And that's beautiful.
It becomes a handheld single cam shot where it just he's like kind of crying, has mascara suddenly, don't know where it came from. Yeah.
Turns into a music video.
I think that would be beautiful. It's like, do you know that movie, The Book of Eli?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen it?
No, I don't think I have.
So, I guess it's spoiler alert. The Book of Eli, it was sold as like, it's this action movie. Denzel Washington is like, I don't know if they tell you he's blind or not. And it's just, he's carrying this book across the apocalypse. And at the end, it's revealed the book was the Bible the whole time. And it's like, anyway, I'm just like, that's what I'm imagining with this, where it's like, he's on there. He's like, what is Tom trying to get to? And then the reveal is that it's the last vial of estrogen in the world. I'm like, oh, okay.
I will transition if it's the last thing I do.
Last thing I do.
That's what we need right now. That's what we need in the box office right now.
I think so. And you gotta trick people into it too, so that America's like, yeah, we want to see action. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know I was supporting this. It's like, well, you were.
Maybe it'll rewire people.
Yeah.
It'll be like, oh, actually, I do support trans healthcare now.
Yeah, I was willing to watch a man die for it.
Yeah. So what was the in for you for Mission Impossible? It's like what you're obsessed with right now.
So there are a few franchises that I feel like whenever a new one comes out, I have like an obscene amount of friends that'll get together where it's like, we'll just, my friend and I will just be like, let's buy 40 tickets and just invite whoever wants to come. And we take a big photo on the Burbank steps of like, look at this massive group that went to see it. And it's like Mission Impossible or Fast and Furious or like any sort, like sometimes it's Avatar, just like if there's like a big blockbuster that year. And I think with like the fifth one or something was the first time we did it. And now it just feels like, when a new one comes out, it's like an event amongst my friend group. And so it just feels like it's the connection to Mission Impossible for me is more about like the culture of getting together and seeing a big movie.
Yeah.
And it's just exciting. And it also just feels like these movies are so, like you can tell that everyone involved is really like nerdy about like magic in a way where it's like his greatest talent is like not just jumping out of stuff. It's like he does close-up magic and like sleight of hand. I'm like, oh, he like thinks in terms of like how an audience is watching something, how it's like, what I'm doing is a big magic trick. I want you to focus on this. So that this is important. And it's like, I think it just is so interesting to me to watch it from that lens. But I just love those movies a lot because it feels like the best combination of it's schlocky, but it's also actually really good.
Wait, so tell me about your friends. Like who are these divas?
These divas are it's like a lot of people that I met when I first moved to LA, and now it's like it just grows into people where it's like, oh, we became friends because I did a podcast with them, or we became friends because like we have run into each other in comedy circles, or it's like we've line danced together or something. It's just like I think that a lot of times I make friends off of like one hobby and then just sort of try to morph all of those groups into one big group.
So you have like an Ocean's 11 of a friend group.
I do, which is so lovely. I think I find myself very proud of how I'm able to like combine a lot of friend groups, and I feel like because I also it's like there are like 2 days of the year where I'm just like, okay, this is my time to throw a big party around some event and just invite people from different friend groups and try and morph them. And it always feels fun where it's like, oh, my line dancing friends are talking to my movie friends, or like, oh, my high school friend is flirting with this person I met this way. It's like it's always just I'm like this is the thing that makes me proud and feel like, oh, I've done a good job of like being an adult.
Finn is very similar.
Yeah,
Finn is very, very much.
I do feel like when we first met, you were talking about hosting a game night, and I was like, yeah, I'm on the same wavelength. Yeah,
I used to do game nights all the time, and I think actually for like the past year and a half, I've been telling people that I want to become friends with. I'm like, I'm doing a game night, but I just haven't had time, or I don't know what happened, but I haven't hosted a game night in so long. But we need to do a game night.
I would love to.
Do a game night.
You came to poker, and I was like, oh, I hope that you really enjoy this because poker is like. I had just learned to play, I think, like 2 nights before you had come.
Oh, really?
And I do feel like it's something that I started doing because I was just like, it's nice to do a regular thing where you are in a routine and like meeting the same people, but also just like, for me, I think it's like when I play poker, it just feels like I've spent the $25. This money isn't real anymore. So it's just like me hanging out, just being like, time to joke and figure out how people play and whatnot. But it's like, it's just a game night to me because it's like, I'm not here to win. I'm not here to lose. I'm just here to like socialize, and I understand the rules now, and that's good enough for me.
That was how I was approaching it, and I was so bad.
Was this at Grace's house?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to come to poker night.
Please come on by.
Do you play Magic the Gathering?
No, but that is one that like when I was a kid, so many people would play, and I was like, I'm gonna get this eventually, and I just never did.
It's fun. Chris
Yeah.
can teach you.
Please do.
Can I
can't.
teach you?
Yes. Shepherd me through the world of magic.
It's really fun. And then Grace also has magic nights, which I'm
Yeah.
sure you know. But yeah, poker night was harrowing for me. Honestly,
Really?
it was great to meet people and make friends, but I found it so stressful.
It is hard to come into a room where everyone knows it. Like I
Yeah.
got very lucky because I got introduced to it through a friend who was like, I want to teach people to play. And so it was everyone at the table had no idea, and she had made printouts and was like, just like, here's how you play. And so we were all
That
just going,
sounds nice.
what do you do? Like there was no like, I'm trying to bluff. It's like, we don't know what we're doing. And so
Yeah.
from that, just like eventually also just realizing that it's like most people can just look at like a list of like, here's the order of how to win. Like I think that made it easy for me, but it's very hard to like jump into a game where everyone knows and you don't.
And
So
on top of that, I was like, oh, I'm paying $20 to be so bad at this game.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know, but I'm happy that I did it because it was really fun and they're such lovely people. But next time I go, I'm gonna destroy. I
That's
just
the
know.
thing. You just gotta lose once and then come in again on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should play Asian poker. We should play mahjong.
Oh, I love mahjong.
I tried to play mahjong. Oh no, that was dominoes, different tiles. I've never played mahjong, and that's the end of my tale.
Yes, we should
Mahjong
play
is like
mahjong.
is a simpler version of poker essentially, but like kind of cuntier in a way.
I do remember watching the mahjong scene in Crazy Rich Asians and being like, "Oh, this is." If I understood what was going on here, I'd be gagged. But I also just fully was like, I would love to get this. It's just everything I've seen about it. I feel like there was a mahjong digital craze for a while, where it's like everyone had like mahjong ads or like games, and I was like, I would love to know how to play this.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like one thing that you could add to it that makes it a little bit more complicated that people don't usually do. So like truly we could learn it in about 15 minutes.
Incredible.
And just play. And it's so satisfying.
I gotta
hearing
add that to the
titles go
casino.
Yes. Oh, this is what I find attractive about game nights, or like the things that I seek out are usually very like tangibly satisfying.
Yes.
Like I love to play pool because the
Grace taught me how to play pool before.
Oh,
I
you
had
play
to
pool?
spend 3 months in Puerto Rico, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it saved my life that Grace taught me to play pool beforehand, because I would just be like, I'm just gonna go to pool halls, and I made friends and just like I was like, I'm okay at pool now, but like yeah, I love pool.
That's what we were doing in New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, when we first met, all we would do is go and play pool and like watch the Great British Baking Show.
That is a good thing to do when you go anywhere. It just feels like you can find a place with a pool table and just fuck it up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do because for acting, we're just like traveling all over the place and living there for months at a time. So I just find a pool bar. Usually it's a leather bar.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's the best way to get bikers to get into your gig.
Yeah. Although it is fun to go to straight bars and like especially in New Orleans, I was always in like these hyper femme outfits, and I'd be like, "Oh, do you want to play pool? I don't know if I'm very good." And then they'd be like, "I'll show you."
I
And
got
then I
this,
would
little
just
missy.
absolutely decimate them.
Yeah.
It was the
Should we
best.
play for money? Should we
Should
play
we
for
play for
$1,000?
Oh, I'm just a surly little faggot. That's me.
And then I'd beat them
I'll
and
take
they'd
your
call me
money.
slurs. Whoops.
I bet you will, Papa Demi. I bet you will.
And every time every
Wow.
bar I go to, they call me Papa Demi. And I'm like, you're misreading my entire vibe.
Oh, maybe she was saying Peppa
Yeah.
because she's a fan of Peppa Pig.
Right, which we have at the
Peppa
casino.
Yes,
Peppa Demi.
yeah. She's asking you to put Peppa Pig on.
Right.
She's saying
Right.
Peppa Demi
Peppa
Peppa.
That
You're
makes way
obviously talking
more
about one of the
sense.
many 3-year-olds that frequent the casino.
Oh, that's the crazy part of this casino?
Yeah.
God, tell me about Stud Country.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Love of my life. I think it has weirdly saved me in some ways and made me extremely stressed in others. Because, how long have you been doing Stud?
I think I started in January of 2022.
Oh, my God.
Is that accurate? Has it been going that
No,
long?
because we were in New Orleans at that time, so 23.
Oh, 23. Yeah.
I had gone a few times, like just in like pepperings here and there, and it was always just like, oh, this is fun, whatever sort of thing. And then I was going through a breakup in February of 24, and around that same time, Beyonce dropped Texas Hold'em. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what? I bet they'd create a dance to this at Stud Country. And I realized when I went there and was trying to learn the dance, I was like, this is like the first day in a while that I haven't thought about the breakup. And it was like, you can't think about anything when you're focused on trying to learn a dance. And I also was just like, oh, when I've learned a dance that I find complicated, I watch all the other ones and I was like, but I could learn that one too. And it just became a thing to like focus on. And then it became like, oh, I feel so like good when I'm moving my body consistently, and I love dancing, and I'm going to do it regularly, and everyone here's so beautiful, and I feel beautiful, and it's just like so many things where it's like just free dopamine and like community and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I think I got very into it very easily because of that, and now it just feels like, oh, every Thursday I have a thing I can do where I see friends, and it's another hobby that feels like this is completely separate from what I do professionally, but allows me to just connect with people where I'm just like, I don't know you, I don't know what you do, but we are out there on the dance floor. I'm like, this is one of my friends. This is a very good friend. And just, I think as an adult also just makes me feel good to be like, I'm still making new friends and doing new things. And it's just, yeah, I think it just became really important to me for that reason.
That's why I love it too.
Yeah.
It's so easy to make friends there. And I find that the conversations I have are so dissimilar than how it usually goes if I'm in the comedy scene. People are like, oh, what do you do? Or not that I mind that. It's just different at Stud Country. Usually I'm just immediately having fun with people.
Yes.
And it's not even like a small talk get to know you.
I've even noticed like, it'll be like a year and someone will be like, oh, you know this person? I'm like, yeah, how do you know them? I'm like, we work together. I'm like, what do they do? Like, I'm just like, I don't know how old anyone is. I don't know what they do. And at some point I'm like, because I should ask what you do. We talk all the time and I just don't ask that.
Yeah. Every time I see people at Stud, I'm like, how are you? They'll be like, oh, I'm great. And we just start dancing together. And then it's like, I don't know, but I still feel really close to these people. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. It's very nice.
It's a tight community. I love it so much. Yeah. I haven't been much lately.
Have you been before?
I have been, and I don't share the same regard to it.
Yeah. Great.
But I'm not.
It's like cilantro.
Yeah, I'm not anti-Stud Country as an idea. It's just not for me. It's not for me.
Do you like to dance?
I don't, and actually, like, a thing about me is that I find dance really unattractive. Like, I don't like looking at it.
Really?
Like, it really makes it like sends a signal into my body that's like,
even when
why
it's
are you
like
doing that?
Even when it's like good dancing, you're just like, ugh.
There are like some kind of dance that like I can like sit there and appreciate, and it's usually just like psycho weirdo stuff.
Interesting.
But when it's like social dancing or like musical theater jazz or like the things that we see as like staples of dance, I'm like, why are you doing that?
Interesting.
And I don't know why.
I don't,
so I'm just like, it's not my place.
I feel like that's how I feel about singing sometimes, where it's just like people can be such impressive singers, but it's like anytime in a musical where it's like everyone goes away and it's just one person doing a ballad, I'm just like, ugh. Or like a cappella. It just makes my bones hurt in some way. And I think it's like shocking because I think so many people are like, good singers are like attractive. It's cool. And people, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't know about all that. I think I have a theory.
Okay, go off, theory. Go off, Justin Thoreau.
I think
that's not who that is. No.
I think it's potentially a cringe at earnestness. And that is what I think. And I think people will try to dance and like maybe try to make it look good or try to sing and sound good. And sometimes that's uncomfortable to watch.
I think that absolutely is what it is for me. I can't pathologize you, but like, yeah, there is a little bit of like, ugh.
It could be, but also it could be. Some of it also might be the the trauma of growing up doing the arts. And like the dance department, like every department has like their own vibe and thing, right? Like dance department has their own vibe versus the music department versus the drama, right? And I just did not identify with the dancers at all.
Totally.
And maybe it was sort of like it started off as like a friendly little territorial thing of just like they do that thing and I do this thing and grew into this perhaps. But I can't look at them now.
Damn.
I hear that. I also had a weird experience with getting into dancing when I was a kid because I wasn't very good and then I had to do it in front of people as my job, which was really embarrassing and humiliating. But I think weirdly because of that, I was like, well, it can't get any worse than that. The stakes are like on the ground.
Oh, it's like immersion therapy or exposure
honestly,
therapy.
Yeah, Stud Country felt a lot like that, where I was like, oh, this is so dorky. Like, everyone's like bobbing their heads in unison and like grapevining. And I found it really charming. And I think like letting go of the ego in that way was really fun for me.
Yeah. I have some friends who are just like, I can't go to Stud because I'm not a good dancer and everyone's going to watch me. I'm like, actually, the thing is, no one's watching you at any point. They're either just like trying to figure out themselves or watching themselves or like demonstrating. It's never like embarrassing to not know the dance. If anything, it gives other people a chance to be like, let me help you in a way that I think is very sweet.
That's what I love about it. It's like people are really there for you.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it truly feels like that. Like when new people show up, there are like probably 3 people waiting to be like, oh, here's the step.
Yeah.
And like just show people how to
I've realized that it's like, I love standing in the back because people be like, you dance in a way that's so easy to follow. I'm like, that's very flattering. And also it's nice to watch people watch me and have me feel like, oh, I'm good enough that people are like looking at my feet to be like, those are the clear steps. And I'm like, I will just stand in the back to help people do that passively.
That is so true about you.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned dances from you before.
People
for
said
sure.
that. I'm like, at first I was like, oh, I didn't, that's not on purpose. And now I'm like, I'm purposely going, all right, let's make the feet wide so they can watch.
You have very distinct movements.
I come to
appreciate
Stud Country
that.
a couple times, and one of them you were up on stage doing your thing. And I was like, that's cool. But you were having fun.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by Pluto TV. Summer of cinema is here, and Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Beverly Hills Cop, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Good Burger, Stealth, Four Brothers, and Star Trek. Bring the action with you and stream for free on all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never. Stream now at pluto.tv.
Finn is also, you're also on stage a lot, and every time it's like the skirt just starts swishing around. I'm like, God, what a beautiful silhouette you're forming.
I love to twirl.
Yeah.
Do they still go at Los Globos?
They do, and it doesn't have the same vibe, and I'll say that publicly. But also, it's just, I think it's also like when you get used to something for so long, any change is just like, this isn't not my stud.
Yeah.
And I'm just,
Incredible Ronald Reagan impression.
Thank you so much. I've been working on it. All the kids at the casino are like, do Reagan, do Reagan.
Papa Demi, do Reagan.
Yeah, they know Peppa Pig and they know Ronald Reagan.
That's my president. That's my guy.
Trickle-down economics.
That's the only way we can get anything if it trickles down. We're tiny. You want to smell my toes?
Oh,
cut
God.
that.
Get out of here. Get out of the non-smoking lounge.
God, okay, we gotta get away from little what's her face. So brings us to our next segment: 3 invasive questions.
This is a segment where we ask you what 3 invasive questions,
and you have to do what?
Deal with it.
Great.
So we're gonna ask you them back to back to back, and then you can answer them
Love it.
afterwards. Either way.
Question number 1: what show should have been canceled before it aired?
Number 2: what is the queerest thing about you?
And number 3: who is your celebrity crush? As in, which celebrity would you want to crush?
Damn.
I didn't read that.
Okay, what show should have been canceled before it aired? Okay, there's this show. This is the only show I've ever been like, why am I well, no, there's many shows I've been like, why am I still watching this? Should I pick a better one? No, I'm going with it. First thought, best thought. There's this show on Netflix called Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I watched a lot of the first season, and it was the first time I've come away from a show being like, why does this exist? I think it's evil spirited. Like, it was so like, it feels like gamer like propaganda. Like, it's either about the military or it's like tech demos or it's about like just like making 3D scantily clad women to be shot, and I was just like, I don't understand what this is all about.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember being like, I'm gonna watch a few episodes of this because people have recommended it, and then ultimately I was like, I hate this so much. And
yeah, it answers the question: what if love happened in a place that was metal and rusty?
Yeah. What if you could find love in a hopeless place? And then I'm like, well, someone already did a song about that, so don't make a show. What is the queerest thing about me? I ask myself this every single day, and today I'm gonna say probably the fact that I I find it so difficult to be friends with straight men, and I'm trying. I find it very easy to be friends with lesbians, and most of my friends are lesbians. And oftentimes they'll be like, "You date a lot of queer women too. Why is that?" And I'm like, "Look, we're figuring that out. And give me like 5 years, and we'll get a solid answer.
Give me a sec.
Yeah, give me time." But in general, I think it's just like I have a lot of queer qualities for a man who, for all intents and purposes, identifies as straight. But also, when I talk to other straight men, I'm just like, it's
what's going on
It's
here?
like that gif of the woman who's like looking around and just the math pops up. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Anyway.
That tracks for me. It's like sometimes queerness is truly to me a state of mind or like a state of viewing the world or like how you interact with it. And I mean, if that is how you feel, then that's how you feel.
And that's why, to me, Dick Cheney is queer.
Thank you
it's
for
like
saying that.
the way that you're thinking, the way that you're literally popping off onto that man's head in that field. It's like, that is so queer coded.
Yeah.
It's like when you shot your friend's eye out on, quote, accident because you're, quote, autistic, that's queer.
Is that what he said?
I made that up.
Oh, I was like, huh.
I think legally I made that up.
Yeah.
For all speaking, this is not a facts-based podcast.
Yeah.
Mariah, is that true?
No.
All right. Well, there we have it.
Wow. We got that cleared up really quick. And then a celebrity I want to crush or
interpret that as you will.
Yeah.
Who's your celebrity crush? As in, which celebrities do you want to crush?
Oh gosh, the thing is, the first thing when I was like celebrity crush was like, got it. And now I'm like, who do I want to crush?
Answer both or neither.
Okay. Well, my celebrity crush all time are Lucy Liu. Every time she's on a screen, period, I'm just like. Oh, I recently rewatched Charlie's Angels with a friend, and the moment where she takes off her helmet and like shakes her hair, I involuntarily gasped, and she made fun of me. So I was just like, I couldn't control it. I just went, and then I'm like, yeah, that's star power right there. We don't get that nowadays. You're not getting that from Sydney Sweeney.
No, I was obsessed with Lucy Liu growing up.
Yeah,
God, I love that. I love that woman.
Same.
And now she's an artist who only paints vaginas.
Yes,
which is
I
didn't know.
Interesting.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
My favorite part of Charlie's Angels was when she takes off the mask and it's Tom Cruise.
Yes. And then she's like, can I put the mask back on?
I'd like to keep it on, please.
What artist who do I want to crush? Maybe like a celebrity, maybe like an abuser or something. Like, let me crush Diddy. Let me just put him in a compactor and just watch it goes down really slowly.
Oh,
slow
a
enough.
compactor.
Is that not how you crush somebody?
No, you're right. I was imagining grand piano falling from a third story like New York
too
Walker.
quick. I want them to know that it's. I want them to see it coming. Yeah, third story. It
doesn't need to fall from that far.
No,
to
I
crush
guess
someone.
the piano's heavy. It could fall from there.
Drop it.
What?
Yeah, drop
Empire
the first
State
story.
Building? Why is there a grand piano at the top of the Empire State
Well,
Building?
there's not,
I was trying to be
because it fell
realistic.
because we didn't get proper OSHA.
Yeah.
We didn't get proper OSHA involved.
Because Mr. President was like, I want to play the piano up there, and then was like, never mind.
Because
And what's the
Ronald Reagan
quickest-
wanted to watch Peppa Pig.
Yeah, and what's the quickest way to get it back down?
Trickling it, bitch.
Trickling it down over the side. Trickle down pianomics.
Ben, you want to talk over here for a
Oh,
second?
yeah, sorry. Demi, you just stay here, and we're going to be right over here.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Then,
Yeah, you can help me with this.
Marsha, fuck off. We have business to attend to. Get back in the Kool-Aid pool.
Okay.
And I'm going to stay over here.
Yeah, you just stay over,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we'll just be right back. Okay, so Chris,
I wonder if this is
I feel like this is probably good. Okay, so are you having? I feel like this is going really well, and I feel like probably we should ask. Do you want to ask, or we both ask at the same time? Let's hold fingers. Let's hold fingers. We're holding fingers now. 2, 3. Hey,
Demi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
So, as you may have noticed, we were just right over there.
I was.
Yes.
I did
Okay,
notice
so
that, yes.
I don't know if you know this, but we're actually forming sort of an army,
A best friend force, if you will.
Yeah,
Okay.
And so that
So
sort
we-
of brings us to a question,
the
a query,
a query,
an
query
inquiry of sorts.
Sure.
And then, so I guess what that question is
are you one of us?
Wow, I didn't. I would like to be. Yes, I think I am. Yeah, I think I am.
Mariah, make all of the slot machines dispense money at a really threatening pace.
Hey, wait!
Right now.
That is not good for my business. Wait a minute, I'm so.
Free money.
No, hey, you drop that.
Take
You
it,
drop that.
Marsha. Go.
No,
run.
Marsha.
Run with the money.
No.
Run with the money.
Oh my
Go
God!
make a reboot of Peppa
This
Pig.
is gonna destroy the children's economy.
Don't be
And
so
maybe
free
that's for
elf
the best,
now.
Demi.
Look, yes,
And maybe
okay.
that's for
Maybe
the
it
best.
is.
Oh gosh,
These children need to go back to their Montessori school
This
stats.
is
They are
incredible.
all. That's where we get them in from. Yes, you know.
I took the SATs at 5.
And yet you ended up here. What does that say?
I
Well,
don't
we're
have a
honored to-
father or a mother.
Oh,
They died.
can you get out of here? We're recording a podcast.
I was getting into my backstory.
Everywhere I go, you backstory.
Backstory this, backstory that. Get back to kindergarten.
How about you get back to your story at school, little bitch? Demi.
So we are honored to have you.
Yes, and so as a member, a new recruit of the Best Friend Force, we do have exactly one duty for you to complete.
And I'll kill them. I don't care. Whatever.
No.
Okay, so that's going to be off
You
pod.
don't have to.
That's
Okay.
gonna, I know we talked about that earlier. We're going to circle back to that after we stop recording.
Mariah, send down the book.
Ow. Oh my God! Always right to my forehead.
Right to your forehead for
That's
sure.
my forehead. Okay, so
in front of you is a book of running commands, and every recruit to the Best Friend Force will add a new rule for which we must all abide by.
Okay.
I'll read you a couple, just so you get the gist of it, and then you will be able to add your own. Number 4, pain is a requirement of freedom, and freedom is a constant practice. Char is transcoded. Don't forget 9/11 style. Scientology is one religion, but only the fun parts. No more self-criticism. Outlaw self-criticism. 21, thou shalt get paid up front. Number 26, always use subtitles, but we're going to keep the conversation open and Chris, remember, take your medicine. I know that right now. Number 33, don't use the hospital ever. Not going to read the rest, it's really long. Number 38, some best friends are very small, so watch where you step. And number 45, thou shalt vocalize your appreciation for each other exactly 3 times per day to remind them how important they are to them. Heart.
anatomically correct heart, to be clear.
So-
Sure, yeah.
Demi, with this pen made of red and blue Kool-Aid.
And that's not gonna. It's gonna wash out too easily. But yes,
what would you add to the book?
I would add. Community is the only thing, and community will save us.
So funny we have a sound designer, and yet we choose to make
because it's more. It's fun.
Community is the only thing. Community will save us. Community will save us all.
I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I agree.
And we are talking about the NBC original.
Correct. Yes. Dan Harmon will save us all.
And so it shall be done.
So it shall be done.
Click.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time.
No,
and you might
bitch.
think that we're done. Why don't you let me get through a sentence?
I really am watching out for this moment in the pod specifically with your ass.
I'm on thin ice because I forgot to do it once, which is why we're on the run from Mo. But one of the commandments that we failed to mention is that we need to give each other earnest compliments, all one by one. And if we don't, if we forget, the punishment is unfortunately death by execution by Mofai Pasek. That is their commandment that they wrote into law.
And I do know what Mo is capable of, so this is scary.
We all do.
Yeah.
They're not even going by their full name. How terrifying is
Because they
that?
killed most of it.
Wait.
Of their full name.
Of the name that I just said?
No.
Of
their name is
their full
Morgan.
name.
Oh, right.
It
Yeah.
was just
right.
Just slice it off. If someone can disregard to thine own self, imagine the disregard for thou own self.
Yeah.
I empathize with Mo's murderous ways, considering I cut off half of my first name.
And I'm also realizing I also have cut off most
Wait, I actually have two.
Okay, so starting to not be as, I'm not afraid of Mo at all.
We're all murderous NBs.
Wait a second.
Hey. Hey.
So that being said, we do have to give each other earnest compliments.
Yes.
So I'll just go ahead because I'm feeling ready. My nipples are perked up. I'm gonna start with Chris.
Oh my God.
Chris, you last night did something very nice for me. And I just want to compliment the time that you took and like the being there for me as a friend when my car battery died because I left my headlights on. And you really wanted to watch The Devil's Plan with Elia. And you ordered your Thai food and you were all cozied up in bed. And I came slamming through your front door. and you helped me jump my car. And unfortunately, you failed.
It did not work.
It did not work. But the time that you took to attempt was really appreciated. So thank you for being a good friend. You're always there for me, and I love you so much.
I love you.
Anyway, AAA came and they jumped my car.
Crazy. It happened so fast, and we took so...
It literally took a millisecond. So, Demi,
yes.
My compliment for you is that I think you're an incredible performer and musician. And while I haven't seen you live, I've seen videos of you singing and performing, and I was gagged. You're so funny and
Thank
talented.
you.
You're a great songwriter. And I love writing comedy music too. And then I was watching the Haunted Mansion song, and it's just like exactly what I aspired to do with my comedy music. So I knew you were a really talented performer, but it's like normally I'm just seeing you be an incredible dancer at Stud Country. It's nice to peel back a layer and see something new from you, which is like your bread and butter, and you're so good at it.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to see you do it live.
One day.
Yes.
My turn! Okay, Finn. I'll do a superficial one first, which I have already told you, but I'll say it in public. Your makeup skills are on fucking point, and I think that it's so cute, and I love I love everything you're doing. It's giving soft, it's giving art, it's giving natch.
Where's my camera?
Pick any of them, babe. Ooh, serve it to the runway, to the runway.
Wow.
Ta, to the runway. Serve to the runway. Serve to the runway. Freckle.
Freckles. My fake
it's
freckles.
incredible. And
Thanks.
then also, I just missed you so much.
Yeah, I miss you too.
And it's been like a very fun chaos being back with you. Like an energy has sparked within me, which you have activated.
Babe, that's chlamydia.
Yes, but you did that.
You're welcome. What are best friends for?
Yeah, I love gossiping with you, and I just love the time I get to spend with you.
Yeah, me too. I love you so much.
I love you. Demi, unlike Finn, I have seen you live, and I think that you're incredible. Also, we watched one of your, I think maybe your last September 21st videos.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. And then
I know
we
this is your
learned,
compliment, but
yeah,
wow.
It's incredible. And you paint and you dance. And did you sew the jersey or something?
I didn't sew the jersey. No.
And who cares? You're straight.
And I don't need to.
No, get one of the lesbos to do it. But it just seems like you are a Renaissance man, like in the modern sense. And I think that is really cool and is like something that I try to do, arguably well or not well, but from the outside, you are doing it very well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's remarkable.
Thank
Watching
you.
that video was crazy.
Thank you.
I couldn't believe it. It started off hilarious and the cinematography was great and the performances were great. And then it turned into like this surrealist, like choreographed musical. It was so cool.
Thank you.
Also obsessed with your solo show.
Yeah.
Thank you also. I think both of these things are like very wish fulfillment-y things, and I'm like, oh, it's nice that I got the chance to do these, and every time I do anything, I'm like, probably the last time I'll have an idea, and then I have another one, I'm like, probably the last time I'll have an idea, but it's just fun to be able to make stuff like that ever. I don't want this to be minimized by me giving it to you both, but I am like, the compliments I'm about to give you are very similar in nature. But the first thing I will say is that both of you are just so beautiful in ways that I find like confronting, where it's like, don't stare at either of them too long. But like, I remember, Finn, when I first met you at Stud, I had seen you on the other two, and I'd seen you and stuff, and I was just like, so beautiful. But then every time I would see you in person, I think there's one time where we two-stepped together, I was just like, don't look in Finn's eyes, because just so beautiful, so like put together, such a good dancer. You have such a presence. And Chris, this is the first time that we have like met in person, but also immediately I see you and I'm just like, you got this like the shirt, the hair, it's like you're like Rufio in front. I'm just like, God, what beautiful people. But then also just doing this podcast, I think sometimes when I do a podcast with people that I don't know super well, I always feel a little like, we'll see how this goes, but you are both so inviting and warm and such generous comedy performers that I felt very taken care of. And it's like, it's always so fun to do improv in general, but doing it with people where I immediately am like, okay, we're on the same page. I was just like, it's nice to do a podcast where I don't feel like I'm like, I got to really try and fill the air here. I felt so very comfortable doing this show with both of you. And again, I'm still trying to be like, and keep looking back and forth as to not fall in love with either of them at one given point. But
Chris is graciously covering the exposed
and thank
chest
you for
skin.
that. Thank you. You're just sitting there like a unfolded poster in a teen girl's room. I'm just like, God. Anyway.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you. I love
we have
you.
to say that. That's
and
another
it's
law.
important to say.
Yeah.
It's better to give love freely than to fear giving it out at all.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm just going to pull this lever and see what happens.
Oh, jackpot! Oh, okay.
Great. No, so I'm going to take all of the money that you've collected at this casino.
Which is not much. These kids are not good.
Turns out kids don't have a lot of money, huh?
Yeah, turns out. We take a lot of IOUs and a lot of...
and a lot of pictures of my feet.
I don't. I've been very specific that we don't want those.
I don't want to even entertain
I send
this.
my 10 little toesy pictures on Polaroid film to Papa Demi.
And where did you get a Polaroid? you. Why is that a technology you know about?
I busked for it on the street.
You busk?
What?
My parents both died in a tragic fire.
Here we go again.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, we don't care.
What is this series of unfortunate events? Get out of here.
If you listen to my backstory, you would know.
No one wants to hear your backstory.
My father is Ronald Reagan.
Okay, God.
Okay, Demi.
Demi, thank you so much.
Well, this has been lovely. Thank you for being our first guest back in real life for a long
and
time.
thank you for having us back in real life.
Wow, ow.
Oh, the rings.
The rings clacking.
Where can people find you? What do you want to plug? And also, what spiritually is your foot size?
Ooh, spiritually, my foot size is a solid 10.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find me at most places online at ElectroLemon. And I would like to plug, if you're in Australia, I'm doing my live show. Demi Adejuyigbe is going to do One Backflip, which is a comedy variety one-man show in 4 different cities, in Sydney, Auckland, Adelaide, and
Perth,
Melbourne. I wanted to go to Perth, or Brisbane, and I couldn't find time for either of them because I got to come back for a friend's wedding.
Oh,
for 2 dear friends of mine getting married.
Well, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I know.
God, we're so happy for them.
It's the real highlight of my month, but still. Anyway.
Well, that's so exciting. All of y'all should buy tickets. All of our Australian listeners.
All of you.
Need to get tickets to Demi show.
Tickets.
Gotta get tickets to Demi show. Stet. Post haste. Thank you so much for taking the time. And we are honored to have you as a member of our Best Friend Force.
I'm honored to be in the Force.
We needed a resident backflipper.
Yeah, and for when shit goes down and it's like, somebody go backwards.
Yes.
Stand up.
Cool. Would you mind just giving us a quick backflip?
Just for y'all.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
thanks.
here we go.
Okay, here it comes. Here it comes. Oh my God, they keep on going. They're floating away.
I lost track.
Demi, come back.
God. Okay, Mariah, send down the gangplank. We're going to go after Demi.
All right. What a joy.
I stole that little girl.
No, Chris,
I'm trying to get a ride home.
You can't keep kidnapping. We've had this conversation.
It's
I don't want to
not
keep. I sound like a broken
I keep offering my
Morgan,
services.
shut up. Shut up, Morgan. Chris, go into the back room. We need to talk.
I'm sorry, Morgan. Just stay out of here.
We'll see you next week on another episode of One of Us. Shut up, Morgan. If you are hungry for more One of Us, you can follow us at oneofus.pod.
One of Us is hosted and produced by us, Chris Renfro and Finn Argus.
It is also produced by Erica Ghetto and Mariah Gossett.
Our theme song was co-produced by Finn Argus and actual rocket scientist Bren Chamberlain Simon, with sound design by Mariah Gossett.
See you next week.
Peppa.
Oh, Peppa.
Peppa.